What kind of man just says, "No, I'm not coming," when he learns that his child's mother is in the hospital in labor, in pain, possibly even struggling for her life? Sounds unbelievable, right? But this really happened while Ericina was struggling to breathe, holding her stomach, surrounded by nurses shouting, "We're losing her!" The man who assisted in the creation of that child was elsewhere, sharing pictures from the gym and acting as though nothing was happening. That is not only callous, it's plain. Mendeecees Harris is the heartless man who refused to take a straightforward DNA test that was 99.9% certain that he was the father. Erica is currently laying in a hospital bed, preparing to give birth, and has even been accused of fabricating hospital documents and acting responsible, which is just a ridiculous thing from a reality TV reunion episode. Mendeecees has abandoned everything, leaving existence hanging on a thread. We must now ask whether he is simply neglecting his responsibilities, or if something even more sinister is occurring. The events that transpired in that hospital room are so startling that they may leave you stunned. Prepare yourselves, as we are going to unveil one of the Mendeecees Harris, who's battling for her life as Erica was hooked up to machines and wailing through the agony of contractions in that frigid hospital room, was one of the coldest moments ever on reality TV. Not only was he avoiding all calls and texts, but he also turned off his notifications and blacklisted numbers. This was supposed to be the rehabilitated, responsible guy from reality TV, and even sent a terrifying message that said, "She'll be fine. I'm not getting caught up in this drama." Awful reputation being spread online. This man constructed his return narrative as a good spouse, guardian, and transformed individual. But when it came time to truly stand by let's go back a little, since this situation didn't begin at the Bay Hospital. It had been developing for months before the mother of his child disappeared, like a discount code that expires at midnight. When Erica revealed she was expecting, she didn't tag anyone. Instead, she just wrote a mystery caption. People began to piece together the timing, locations, and old videos, and everything pointed to one man, Mendeecees Harris. Yes, the same Mendeecees, who on TV portrays himself as Yandi Smith's ideal husband, and who sobbed in therapy while discussing his efforts to better himself, but obviously not having done so. The task because, just weeks before the test, the evidence began to pile up like a parcel on Prime Day, including images of a DNA test and a photo of Mendeecees in her hotel room without a shirt. When he returned, did Mendeecees take responsibility for his actions and acknowledge his error? Nope. He claimed things like, "Anyone can fake a paternity test and I didn't sign anything. Therefore, I want my own." In essence, he was claiming that the baby, the DNA clinic, and even the screenshots were phony. This is because the truth was out, and Mendeecees was avoiding fatherhood as if it were a plot point he didn't want in his screenplay. Fast forward to the courtroom drama, when Eric filed motions to compel Mendeecees to confess in addition to seeking child support. Mendeecees, the father, arrived late wearing sunglasses and emotionless, just as Erica's attorney was presenting in order to prevent him and his group from disseminating phony materials. The last piece of evidence came when Erica passed out in court, causing everyone to start screaming and screaming. Security arrived quickly and paramedics raced to her side. She was going into early labor weeks before her due date because Mendeecees was standing there doing nothing, not asking if she was okay, not following her out, not even blinking, and the stress was so great that she was hurried out on a stretcher. Witnesses said he simply sat there without saying anything, and Yandandi was nowhere to be seen. The internet went crazy right away, with hashtags like Mendeecees betrayed and Ice for Furious everywhere. But the worst was not yet there. After Erica arrived at the hospital, her team made 6 attempts to contact Mendeecees, texting, calling, and even messaging his sister in an attempt to persuade him to come. They informed him that she was in labor. According to a source close to him, Mendeecees said, "Let her have her moment. I'm not falling for this setup. It's serious, the kid is coming, and she wants you." A setup? The mother was in a hospital bed, pleading for her child's father while experiencing contractions that were 2 minutes apart. And he called it a situation that's not only freezing, but it gets worse. As physicians attempted to keep Erica stable while she was sobbing in agony, Mendeecees was live on Instagram, making jokes with, during studio time, a fan made a serious statement about sneakers. "Bro, you're talking about Jordans while your baby is being born?" When someone brought up Erica's emergency, the comments section erupted in outrage, and he abruptly terminated the live feed. This was very clearly not inside the "Is he really not coming?" "Hospital in tears," Erica asked a nurse. "He said he'd be here. We said we'd do this together." The nurse held her hand and the world was pleading with him to appear. But he remained silent, and Erica was told, "You're stronger than you think, and your baby is lucky to have you, remember that." Suffering from depression, heartbreak, and public humiliation, and he was unable to reveal his face. Just as it appeared that he might arrive, surveillance cameras captured a man in around 3 in the morning. A hooded was pacing outside the maternity ward. He kept his face covered and refused to enter the hospital. But when the personnel identified himself as Mendeecees, he turned and fled, unable to even approach the place. This is when things get truly gloomy, as Erica was in a hospital bed, alone and in pain, with equipment beeping. Around 3:45 a.m., despite the warnings all around her, Mendeecees was outdoors, pacing in his hoodie out of fear, before vanishing. Erica's health deteriorated, as her pulse rate grew erratic and her blood pressure increased. Physicians quickly decided to perform an emergency C-section because it wasn't just about preserving her life, the baby, anymore. It was about saving her life. Where was Mendeecees? He told his inner circle, "They'll call me if something serious happens." But she wasn't on the phone, waiting, or even close. He even added, "I'm not taking the blame if she loses it." That's how little he cared. Losing it is what he called a woman. In the operation room, Erica shook, and the doctors had to put her under anesthesia because she was hyperventilating. This isn't just a reality TV drama anymore. It's life and death. A nurse said, "Just breathe, Mama. You're not alone. We've got you." However, she was actually by herself, with her family coming in to console her after treachery. The painful reality of a man who vanished when he was needed most, a woman struggling for herself and her child, is that the man who produced this social media post pretended everything was okay, was left to deal with the suffering alone, which is not only disheartening but also unforgivable. A baby is born, but the happiness is tainted with drama and heartbreak. The baby was delivered at 4:16 a.m. She was breathing on her own and wailing loudly, which was a wonderful miracle. But things didn't go as easily as everyone else's. Erica, the mother, didn't wake up straight away. Hoped there were major issues because she lost a lot of blood and had breathing difficulties for over 20 minutes. The medics were doing their hardest to save her. Maintain her steady, one nurse subsequently reported that when Erica opened her eyes, it appeared as though she was battling to see her baby for the first time. "Is he here?" was her first question, and the nurse had to shake her head no. At that point, Erica broke down totally and clutched her baby daughter lovingly. She was crying and whispering, "I brought you into this world alone, but I assure you that you will never experience that emptiness again." When the father, Mendy, disappeared during Erica's traumatic, life-altering event, the internet noticed right away, and many were incensed. Social media erupted with, Mendy sent a voice message to one of his pals saying, "I didn't go because I don't trust cameras or setups, and I knew she would pull some stunt at the hospital. The baby is fine." Imagine that this dad actually skipped the birth of his own child because he was afraid of being videotaped. It wasn't about safety or anything. "No one will catch me sliding on TV," because it was all about his ego control and face saving. The public's ire was uncontrollable, and they began tagging VH1 with fan petitions calling for Mendy to be removed from the show with the title, "Remove." Him from in a single day, Love and Hip Hop collected over 75,000 signatures, while an anonymous hospital employee published internal letters demonstrating that it's not amusing to ghost your own child. In addition to not responding when Mendy was formally notified of Erica's emergency, a security camera image that was leaked from the hospital parking lot revealed a man wearing a hoodie. Everyone recognized him as he stood outside the NICU wing, peering inside through the glass before leaving. Erica reposted the photo with only a broken heart emoji and no other remarks, and then she shared with a beautiful lullaby playing and her voice barely audible. She remarked in a calm video of her baby resting on her bosom that some infants are born surrounded by love while others enter the world. The internet exploded once more as people realized what it means to be left behind. Comments came in, stating things like, "This baby will grow up witnessing everything." They urged Mendy to stop being a recluse and to be present for his child, but he remained mute and restricted his Instagram activity by removing comments. Despite steering clear of any conflict, what began as a story about rumors of infidelity and side relationships swiftly evolved into something far more complex. This was about the public had finished offering him any justifications for his failure to be present for the newborn child, and the father who chose to deny his role. But the fallout wasn't over since Erica's legal team intervened, and things became even more acute. And less than 2 days after she left the hospital, Erica's lawyer, who had remained silent for months amid months of rumors and "My client nearly died giving birth to this child," he continued, indicating that he was now prepared to battle hard. The father discredited her in public and disregarded her in private, and fled a medical emergency. "We are taking full legal action. This is no longer just about paternity. It's about emotional harm, slander, and neglect." This statement astounded us. Fans organized online to demand justice and hold Mendy accountable, while journalists aired the session live. Meanwhile, Erica was secretly. Her legal team filed a civil complaint the same day. But it wasn't just about establishing the father's identity or requesting child support. They were also mending at home from the birth and the heartache. Were also requesting damages for the psychological suffering Erica had while pregnant, particularly as a result of the public deception and slander she experienced. This was becoming a significant issue. There has been a lot of drama, but it was essential. Erica was no longer merely a woman who had been betrayed. She was a mother battling for her child's future and her own dignity. Recently, but other aspects are even more bizarre than what people are first claiming. There is more going on, and it's not just about phony DNA documents or ignoring a medical issue. Got everyone talking, so let me begin at the beginning. This man, Mendy, abruptly left during a critical medical emergency and didn't stay to help the woman who needed him the most, which is terrible enough on its own. But the drama didn't end there. A subpoena, or court order, was issued in connection with all of this, requesting all of the video footage from the last 6 months' Love and Hip Hop reality program, as Erica's attorney asserted that Mendy's on-camera admission that he wasn't prepared for another child was kind of admission, that he believed Erica was merely feigning pregnancy to attract attention. Imagine making that statement about someone who ultimately had an emergency C-section. Producers are rushing to determine what they may lawfully share the public after the cold folks working behind the scenes at VH1 acknowledged that the film indeed exists. According to a source, the member stated, "This is career suicide, not just some reunion show drama anymore." In the meanwhile, Mendeecees is allegedly in a panic, according to people close to his PR team. He attempted to release a kind and polite statement along the lines of, "We all make errors, and I never sought to hurt anyone. I just felt uneasy with the way things were being made public." However, one insider stated that the team quickly shut that down, saying, "It's too little, too late. This isn't about public opinion these days. It's about legal issues instead." After brand partnerships began, Mendeecees' situation only grew worse. Disappearing quickly. A fitness sponsor removed all posts featuring his face, including one he had planned for a podcast appearance. A footwear business secretly terminated their collaboration with him. "We don't support men who abandon women during childbirth," the host stated bluntly when the week was cancelled on live air. The story came to an end, and then when a long-time friend who claimed to be one of Mendeecees' closest friends revealed a private group chat, Mendy allegedly commented, "I should have ghosted him," which was the deepest betrayal from within his own circle. "I'm stuck with another loss," after she stated she was going to be late. People couldn't believe he actually said that one, and the internet went crazy. This man simply revealed his entire strategy, yet people still believe that he hasn't changed at all. Even Yandy's brother, who rarely talks in public, tweeted this, which exactly captured the essence of the man's genuine intentions. "Character is what he does when no one is looking. My sister was silent for years, but now that everyone knows the truth, she finally spoke up about Yandy." It was a straightforward black and white movie with no interviews or lengthy explanations that showed her strolling down a hallway alone herself, removing her wedding band, placing it on a table, and then leaving over the "I protected someone who wouldn't protect me ever again," she claimed in the video. The video quickly gained popularity, receiving over 1 million views in a matter of hours. Fans went crazy with comments like, "Team Erica and Yandy," after Erica reposted the video with just 3 words, "Welcome to healing." In real time, many were stating that men like Mendeecees should not be ignored any longer and should be called out just when you thought things couldn't get any worse. This is what treachery looks like forever. Even worse, Erica left a voicemail weeks before the baby was born in which Mendeecees sounded worn out and dejected, saying, "I don't know what to do if this baby is really mine. I'll be there, but I won't be handling this mess if I can't." The message was one of several pieces of evidence that were tested by 99's DNA, including videos of belly rubs. It was evident from the 9% accuracy images and other messages that Mendeecees wasn't in denial. Instead, he was preoccupied with his own fabrications and justifications. Erica didn't react angrily or theatrically. Instead, she subtly shared a picture of her infant with her eyes closed and a gentle smile on her face, covered in a nice lavender blanket. She requires no one to claim her. I've already decided. At that point, the last but not least, VH1 declared a unique 2-part reunion program called Erica Yandy, In the Delivery Room Silence, and the consequences of Mendeecees' rejection of it, intended to consist of 3 interviews and journeys without filters, or scripting simply honest, unfiltered talks. But Mendeecees at the last minute, manufacturers backed out, claimed he wouldn't come out as blaming mental health problems, which actually meant he lied because he was unable to face the reality. Betrayed, and he vanished as a result of the evidence against him was excessively loud, and since the cameras are too clear, here's the unquestionably, a woman delivered birth. Encircled by another woman who has betrayed, ultimately let go of the man she had previously protected, and a kid was born. More powerful than the man who turned her down. This wasn't just a drama on reality TV, was hitting real life. Real life.